In this video, we're going to get the value of the sum from k equals 1 to n of k squared. So we're going to look at n plus 1 cubed minus n cubed. So this will equal, so n cubed, we're going to expand it, so 3n squared plus 3n plus 1. So this part is this part, and minus n cubed. So this minus n cubed will cancel with this n cubed, so you're left with, so n plus 1 cubed minus n cubed will equal 3n squared plus 3n plus 1. So we're going to plug in 1, 2, 3 up to n to this equation. So we get 2 cubed minus 1 cubed equals 3 times 1 squared plus 3 times 1 plus 1. Plug in 2, we get 3 cubed minus 2 cubed equals 3 times 2 squared plus 3 times 2 plus 1 up to n plus just n, so it'll be n plus 1 cubed minus n cubed equals 3n squared plus 3n plus 1. So this term will be canceled with this term will be canceled with something, this term will be canceled with something. And if we look at the n minus 1 case, we get n cubed minus n minus 1 cubed. So this n cubed will be canceled with this minus n cubed. So, and this will be with something, so you'll finally get n plus 1 cubed minus 1 cubed, which is just 1, equals, so 3. So this will be 3 times 1 squared, 3 times 2 squared, 3 times 3 squared, and 3 times n squared. So it'll just be 3 times 1 squared plus 2 squared plus 3 squared plus ... plus n squared plus 3 times, you have 1, 2, up to n, so this is just the sum of all n numbers, integers, and then plus, so we have 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, and this will happen n times. So what you're left with is n plus 1 cubed minus 1 equals, we'll just call this s for now. And then we have plus 3. We know this is just n plus 1 over 2. So it'll be 3n times n plus 1 over 2 plus n times 1, which is just 1. So what you're left with is n cubed plus 3n squared plus 3n. Then you have plus 1 minus 1, so that would cancel, so you're just left with 3s plus 3 halves n squared plus n plus n. So you're left with 3s plus 3 halves n squared plus, so you have 3 halves n plus n, so that's 5 halves n. On the left hand side, you have n cubed plus 3n squared plus 3n. Multiply everything by 2 to make it simpler, so we're left with 6s plus 3n squared plus 5n equals, on the other left hand side, we'll get 2n cubed plus 6n squared plus 6n, and you can subtract 5n from both sides and minus 3n squared from both sides, so this and this will cancel. Not everything, but you'll get 6s equals 2n cubed, 6n squared minus 3n squared is 3n squared, 6n minus 5n is just n, and you get s equal to 2n cubed plus 3n squared plus n over 6. So we get that 1 squared plus 2 squared plus 3 squared plus ... plus n squared, which is s, is equal to, so we're factoring out an n, so it'll be n times 2n squared plus 3n plus 1 divided by 6, and 2n squared plus 3n plus 1, well, we can think about it, so n, 2n plus 1, n plus 1 over 6. So you can multiply this, so 2n plus 1 times n plus 1 be 2n squared plus n plus 2n plus 1. This will be 3n, so it will be 2n squared plus 3n plus 1. So that is an answer. So we're going to rewrite this as n plus 1, 2n plus 1 over 6, and that's what the answer is.